So we start off this adventure with me as my fighter character, Morrow. Christine is her ranger, Talim, and David has NPC'd his character, uh, which he just called Mac. He's a dwarven ranger type guy, mostly who specialized in kind of like the melee combat aspect of things. He had like these dual maces that he put his character with. He'd just run up in there and go to town on people. It's pretty cool to watch, actually. And he had an animal companion of his own, which is just like it was this mutt dog named Snips. I don't know why he chose that, but whatever. And then we had Sean as our bard. Edwin Dandy Day, who had a donkey with the highest intelligence stats you ever did see. Like, I can't believe he was allowed to stat his animal. I mean, you technically do stat your animal to a degree, but like, I don't know. Like, he went into specific detail about this donkey, and his donkey's name was Hermes. And Hermes' greatest attribute was that he was the smartest donkey in all the land. And I swear to God, I can't remember the exact score on his intellect, but it was high. And I'm just like, what the hell? you know, um, and then we had Sarah playing her tiefling, Azadale. And then we had Eric, who was playing an elven wizard character named Clayton. And so we're all going across the country just looking for work because we pretty much told King Framp to go, shove it. And we come across this, like, bridge, but it's like this huge bridge, and on both sides of it, it kind of has, like, villagers who have congregated on this huge bridge. And when I mean that, I mean, like, they have built their stores and stuff into the sides of this bridge, and there's this huge bridge that has, like, shops and a tavern, and there's a blacksmith there and all sorts of stuff, and it's got its own like guard to it, and there are farmers and woodsmen and stuff that live in the woods on both sides of the bridge. And on the way there, we get, attacked by some bandits and stuff, and, we make quick work of them and everything like that. And I guess to properly start this off, to just backtrack a little bit, David kind of opened up the story with this kind of like movie-esque opening where we follow this guy after he gets robbed by bandits himself, and it's like at nighttime, in the middle of these woods in the dark, and the bandits get attacked by some like squealing pig monster thing. David basically explains it as they're while they're in the process of robbing this guy, they hear the squealing, and this huge, like, this huge lumbering creature comes out of the woods, but it's dark, and the only thing the villager can see before he's caught up in the attack himself amongst the chaos is Fur and Tusk, and he recalls the squealing and the bandits getting torn apart, and I do think one of the bandits, like, he gets away, but like when the bandits rob him, like they end up like stabbing him in the leg or something like that. And so he limps away as fast as he can in the midst of all this chaos. And he's running through the woods, and he can hear the squealing behind him, and he gets uh, like kind of lost in the brush, and he ends up tripping down the side of this like hill, and he goes stumbling down it, and he awakens the next morning to an actual like boar by the side of his face, and he's like, "Oh my god!" and he's freaking out, and it's just a boar that belongs to this hunter guy, who found him, and the boar, you know, kind of waddles off over to like this section of this brush to like eat some berries or whatever on this bush, and the hunter guy kind of like calms him down and stabilizes the poor farmer guy, and he's like, let's get you back into town. And then, of course, we're coming in and we're getting robbed by bandits the next morning, a different group, and after we take care of them, we kind of bump into them along the side of the road as they're coming out from the side of the wilderness, and kind of ask if he's okay and everything, and he's like, I don't know what happened. They all got torn apart by some creature, and he's kind of babbling and stuff, and he's kind of in shock, and Hunter's like, I'm gonna get him to some medical attention up yonder the way, and he kind of explains that there's this giant bridge where all these settlers have kind of nuzzled into, and he explains that it's kind of like a town, and it's got its own law and everything, and he introduces himself. I think the farmer guy's name was Edgar or something. It could have been something different, but we'll just call him Edgar because I think it was something close to that. So farmer guy's name is Edgar, and the hunter's name is Edgar, and the farmer, I don't know his name. He's too busy being in shock from the whole incident, and the Edgar kind of carries him off, and he's like, "Here, I'll lead the way," and his boar comes out of the side of the brush as well, and kind of surprises a couple of us. Like, this dude has a trained boar? Like, what the hell? And they kind of, guide us to this bridge slash village, right? And, of course, we're asking David, like, so was it like his boar or something that attacked the the bandits? Because I think Sarah thought, like, did he like use did he use like a spell to like enlarge his boar and like attack the bandits, and the farmer guy just kind of flipped his shit or something? Is that what happened? And David's not kind of, he's kind of like not letting on, and he's like, yeah, maybe. And, all you know for sure is that, shit goes down in the woods around here, and that there is a significant bandit problem. We're like, oh, well, yeah, clearly. And so, anyways, we get into this town, and, we go into, like, the shops and stuff, and we go into the tavern, and, kind of hear all kinds of stuff as far as, like, townsfolk talking and stuff. Hear a lot of stuff about the recent, bandit problem that's kind of been at somewhat of an uprise as of lately, and that they're led by these two like real fierce bandit leaders. One's name is we Gato. We find out, and the other one, um, I think we find out his name later. But we know at least one of them is called Gato, and he is like kind of this infamous type bandit for being somewhat vicious and ruthless, and they have somewhat of a very large bandit group to them, so there's clearly more of these guys, and they've kind of, settled here temporarily to do their thing. And apparently they've made camp in these old ruins in the woods. They've kind of made their base in these old ruins in the woods. Ruins that used to be like kind of like this dungeon from like long ago. It's like run down as shit now apparently, and they've just been kind of making camp there and kind of delving further and further into it to just kind of like see what they can dig up and see what they can raid. And, in the meantime, Gato's got his men going out and like harassing the townspeople or, that are going on the roads or people that are coming into this town, / bridge. And, and the farmers too. And, they've made their presence very well known. And we hear other things, how like the main road going up the side of this, hill region where the bandits have their main camp is kind of closed off because a giant like nest of harpies have made their home there recently. And there's talk of this ogre that's kind of made his home in one of the local caves around there. And, just a whole bunch of stuff. And, clearly these people are having problems, but the guardsmen are kind of like understaffed, and they're having a hard enough time as is, trying to keep the bandits out of this bridge, from, overtaking the town sort of thing, and having a hard time, getting supplies in and stuff because of these bandits, and, keeping the peace because of, everything that's been going on, just in general. And so they've kind of just, posted up stuff, like, if, for anybody who takes care of the bandits can't get paid right now, but like on honor of the kingdom, they'll take your names down and, they will, refund you sort of deal, the money at a later date sort of deal. So on the honor of the kingdom, whoever is brave enough to take the bandits on, shall be highly rewarded. And that, of course, is where our group gets involved.